A2theK.
Hello one and all, welcome to the A2theK Wrestling Show, and welcome to our Elimination Chamber predictions.
I dare say it's probably the most exciting Elimination Chamber we've had in a while. I don't know how you feel about it. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I'm very excited to be
Cool.
fair. Yeah. I like as well, obviously we in the past have been very vocal, I know I have probably more so than you, of somebody wins the Rumble and then you've got about 3 months until WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, maybe we should have them in a chamber match or defend the title in a chamber, and it's just a bit like, nah.
Yeah. But there's actually story in this time.
Storylines.
I mean, even if Cody'd it up this week.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to see you on Raw.
Yeah.
I want to see you. That's a calm down, Cody.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, so what do you want to talk about? Told you they'd turn it into a catchphrase. I told you it'd suck balls.
It's up there with, yeah. Again, like, people that just really love these catchphrases and we're just like, nah, fucking hate it.
Yeah, hate that guy. But without further ado, I never say that right, but I still continue to say it. We will kick off with the first match we're going to talk about, which is Edge and Beth Phoenix taking on Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley.
I mean, for me, sadly, the obvious result, and it's going to be a banger of a match, but sadly, the obvious result is Edge and Beth Phoenix. It's the culmination of the whole Edge being kicked out of Judgment Day, retribution kind of thing, isn't it? I feel like the logic would suggest they're going to win. I don't know how you feel about that, but for me, it's going to be a really good match with a fairly predictable result.
Yeah. The problem I've got with Edge at the minute is that
You can't have a problem with Edge. He's a ledge.
Edge is a ledge. He's been back, and has he pretty much lost every feud?
I think so.
And it's kind of like, yeah, we get it. He's coming back to put over the younger talent and stuff.
Did he win against The Miz and Maurice? May have won that one.
Yeah, but that's not really putting over young talent, though, was it? As such.
I'm just saying, you said, did he lose every feud?
Well, shut up. You know what I meant.
All right.
So while it would seem the most obvious to have Edge and Beth win this one, I wonder whether we might actually get Finn and Rhea Ripley winning it, to be honest. Maybe Rhea Ripley is going to assert her dominance in the run-up to, going after Charlotte.
I mean, this is the trouble, isn't it? Because she has got a title shot. So why would you dampen her by take a loss at the Chamber?
I imagine if Edge and Beth are going to win it, you'd assume it'd be Finn Balor that would take the loss.
Or the loss is actually at the problem, like Dom is a distraction or something along that line.
Interesting that Dom isn't in it.
Because if Dom causes a distraction and annoys Rhea and she beats the crap out of him, I would love this match.
Oh yeah. Well, obviously, I'd just love to see Dom get his ass kicked, let's be honest. But I don't know. I think it is a tough one, isn't it? But I don't think it's going to be as clear cut of it's definitely going to be Finn and Rhea Ripley.
Fine.
Who did you say was going to win?
Edge and Beth. But
Yeah.
I was going to let it go.
So I don't think it's going to be like a clear cut Finn and Rhea Ripley are going to win kind of situation, but I think they could if it's to
So you think they
push.
You have to pick a winner.
If I think have I already picked this on the prediction series?
I don't know.
Let me see what I put. Obviously, a good time to plug our prediction series if you haven't been playing. Obviously, it will have ended by the time.
So maybe the next one.
This is pointless. But on Instagram, you should definitely check us out. But I voted, Anthony, for Edge and Beth. But interestingly, up to now, Finn and Rhea are currently leading. So it is an interesting one. It literally depends on how they're going to do it. You can't have Beth pinning Rhea Ripley. So it's either going to be Edge pinning Balor, or you're going to have the younger talent Finn get one over on Edge. So it's a tough one.
I'm still voting Edge and Beth.
Well, obviously that's what I've put as well. But
all right then, cool. So we agree.
Well, yeah, I think we agree on this one.
Cool.
Edge and Beth.
Yeah.
Which takes us to the first chamber we're going to talk about, and it is for the United States Championship. We have Montez Ford, Johnny Gargano, Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, and Damian Priest.
I'm sorry, but this is probably the worst chamber for me because I feel like this is like everyone's kind of just been put in there for fodder. Like Bronson Reed, Gargano, basically that side of the graphic aren't going to win. I feel like they've just been put in there just to fill the chamber out, which I don't like when they do that. I like when there's more possibility there. For me, the realistic options are Austin retains because it makes sense to keep him sort of relevant, I suppose. Seth wins because he's a fucking ledge, or you give Damien the win and give a bit of dominance to Judgment Day. And to be honest, if I picked who I'd like to win, I'd probably say Damien. I think he deserves it, man.
Obviously, I'm a big fan of Damien. I guess looking at it, if you think of Mania, where are we going with these guys? So the belief at the minute is Austin Theory's going to take on Cena. Does that need to be for the US title?
I think poetically it would be really good.
Obviously, he had a massive run with the title, didn't he?
Yeah,
so
he made the first spinner. In fact, Austin should bring back the spinner belt for that night just to animal.
That would be quite funny, actually. Yeah. So you've got to ask that, but then we've also got Seth Rollins taking on Logan Paul, most likely at Mania. Would you want to have him go for a title to make that sound a bit more prestigious for him?
I don't think the Logan Paul's going to be a spectacle anyway. I don't think it needs a title. So
yeah. I think, though, do you think they might just give it to Seth just because, obviously, he should be in the main event, let's be honest.
He deserves everything.
Hell of a year or two. And I don't know, he hasn't made it into the main event again, has he? And it's, a returning Cody, and even Sami's now getting main events. So it's kind of like...
Kind of happened organically though, wasn't it? Like,
oh, yeah.
I don't think it'd be a big issue if he doesn't this year. Like, he totally deserves it, but like, given what's going on, it just makes sense that he's not in the main event,
Yeah. And I suppose you've got to ask, what next for Damian Priest? I agree with you. I think the three on the left-hand side aren't going to go... I mean, what if this is how they break up Street Profits? Want to give it to Montez?
I mean, it's hard to not be unfair about this because I would be disappointed because I want the Street Profits to have a tag team run. A title run, should I say, because they are a tag team, so they have had a tag team run, in all fairness. But yeah, I want them to win the titles, so the fact that they'd split the tag team up before they ever actually become tag team champs just disappoints the fuck out of me. Yeah. So I kind of don't want to see it happen. I think logically if he won, then that is the signpost that, yeah, they're splitting them up. Yeah.
It's I feel it's massive shade on Dawkins as well, to be fair. Everyone's always going about Montez. Can Montez get a breakout? He's the breakout star.
Because he shakes the ropes.
I don't know. I'm still not massively sold on him. And, the things that he was wowing people with have now become stuff he does in every match, like that jumping over the turnbuckle when he does his dive to the outside, instead of doing it over the ropes and stuff.
But he does bring the swag like nobody can.
There is that. But yeah, so what are your thoughts? And if you had to pick...
I have to pick who I think's going to win. I'm going to stick with the Austin, retain him.
Okay. Well, Anthony, went for Austin Theory retain.
Agreeing way too much today. I don't like it.
It's very unlike us. Very unlike us. But I think, as you said, it's going to be poetic for if Austin Theory versus Cena does happen.
It's going to be US title. For the US title.
And, I think it'd be massive for Theory if it happens as well.
Cena will be putting him over, won't he? That's bottom line in it. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So hopefully, schedules align.
You think we're going to see Cena with her or without her?
Both.
You just can't make your mind up. Party up front.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite of a mullet.
Kind of.
Party up front, business behind.
Yeah, maybe. A business behind, you say?
Damn.
Yeah, I think, Theory versus Cena for the US title's got a nice ring to it.
They like it, yeah.
So, the next one to talk about, Bobby versus Brock 3.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I know some people are excited for this. I just don't care anymore.
The thing that gives me a little bit of hope,
one of them,
is that it's not happening at Mania.
Okay. Here's my prediction. I'm going to say Bobby takes the win. I'm going to say the Hurt Business reunite.
Yeah.
In the match.
You're just basically stealing all my ideas.
I said it first, so no, I'm not. Sorry.
You looked at that spreadsheet.
I did not look at the spreadsheet. You think I could read from this distance?
Not that I had that idea on there anyway, but yeah, I'm thinking it's going that way. We talk about, obviously, Edge coming back and putting over the younger guys and stuff like that. Like, I think this is what Brock's doing in his current run. He's not after the main title and stuff like that. So
what if we get a full swerve and the Hurt Business reunite minus Bobby? They actually support Brock.
It would be a hell of a swerve. Yeah, I can't see that happening.
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know where...
The point of it reuniting would be all of them back together, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Like, I don't know where it goes next for Brock. For Bobby, getting him back together with the Hair Business makes a lot of sense because he's not the best talker. He's never going to be the best talker. And while MVP is a good talker.
What do you do with Omos?
You can have him in there as well. You could be like the like the evolution angle of old. The take him under the wing and stuff, and eventually
Just there to reach stuff off high shelves.
pretty much,
Sound.
and eventually it boils over between him and Bobby.
Could be a good way of setting that up, yeah.
So, if you look at it as though Omos is the future and Bobby's the vet kind of thing.
Omos is the future.
That's the
I don't
story
think anyone in the world of wrestling has ever said that.
Well, yeah. But, younger star and all that, so you never know.
You never know.
So, yeah, I'm going to go Bobby. You going to go Bobby?
Let's go, Bobby.
Let me just double check I actually did go
Let's
with Bobby.
go, Bobby.
Oh, yeah, phew.
Oh,
Phew.
don't worry, I didn't see the rest of your spreadsheet.
Good. Love a spreadsheet. Also, this computer sounds like it's going to take off again for some reason. Who knows why it does that. So, we have then got onto the women's chamber match. And remember, whoever wins this goes on to face Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. So that's a very important thing to factor in when you're looking at this. But we've got Carmella, Nikki Cross.
Say Carmella.
Yeah, it's Carmella, right?
Okay.
I think that's Carmella.
Okay.
Carmella, Nikki Cross, Raquel Rodriguez, Asuka, Liv Morgan, and Natalya.
Cool.
Which is a very interesting way to look at it, to be honest. So, who's the face and who's the heel? So Natalya's returned as a face.
Okay.
Liv Morgan's obviously a face. Raquel's a face. I guess Nikki's a heel now, maybe.
Nikki's Nikki.
Carmella's obviously a heel, but what's Asuka at this point? She's debuted this slightly new gimmick.
She's a bad guy.
But is she, the fans are still cheering her.
I don't know. I just don't know what she is.
And I know people are going to be like, oh, you don't need to have good guys versus bad guys.
You do.
But you kind of do. So you need to think,
Classic storytelling might change it.
who's Bianca going to go up against at WrestleMania out of these? Now, I would love it to be Liv. Obviously.
It's actually going to be my vote. I think she earned it.
I think she's earned it. Finished second in the Rumble and stuff as well. So there's a story there about, even though she didn't win the Rumble, she still managed to fight that bit extra.
Was in the entire thing with Rhea as well.
Yeah. But then you've also got Asuka, who was third in the Rumble.
Mm.
And obviously she's got...
Asuka is probably the only other realistic option, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
No, Carl. She's the only other realistic option.
Well, Nikki Cross, no. Natalya, no. Raquel Rodriguez, I could kind of see it.
I mean, that's because you love a mirror match.
Well, yeah, a little bit. But obviously, who is the strongest? Who is the toughest? That could write itself. Carmella's just come back. She's a heel. She's
thought that was all you were going to say. Carmella's just come back. Anyway.
She's a heel. She's been champ before. Could you have a little bit of
we know that
Carmella Bianca thing?
I don't know. For me, none of them are, bad options by any means. But realistically, right now, from a booking standpoint, Liv or Asuka makes the most sense. And for me, my money's on Liv.
Yeah.
I think capitalise on the run she had in the Rumble and how well she performed, and have a go start to finish with this as well.
Yeah. I think the problem I've got with it, don't get me wrong, I'd love if Liv was the winner. Of course I would. I don't know how you tell that story. You can tell it based on, she was runner-up and stuff, but you got two baby faces going up against each other, and it's just going to be about friendly competition at Mania.
Turn Bianca heel, which she desperately needs.
Well, yeah, but were they going to do that before Mania, though?
No, they're going to have the match, and then she's going to lose and flip out and turn heel.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love that, to be fair.
There we go, problem solved.
That's my ideal scenario, but I don't think they're going to treat me that well.
Who are you voting for, dude?
I'm going Asuka. I just think why debut that new gimmick?
Fair.
Which is also a little bit, we don't know whether she's going to be good or bad at this point. So
I take your point. This would be a second loss with that gimmick so far. So you go, is that the best thing you want to do with it?
Exactly. So
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think we're lean with Asuka on it.
Lean into Asuka.
The heart says Liv, the head says Asuka.
Okay. Follow your heart. Fair enough.
Which takes us to the main event of the evening.
We're talking heart and head again. My heart says Sami.
It's right in there. None of the build-up.
I'd love him to win it. To me, that's the poetic finish to this. I get that that's realistically not going to happen. I feel like so many people will feel kind of numb to the fact that Roman, after 900 odd days, lost to Sami Zayn. But the story's just been fantastic, and the end, the result of that, I don't know, just feels like the right choice. But
yeah, Do you know what? They've done such a fantastic job of getting so many people invested to the point where, it seems feasible almost that it could happen. I think, again, if you're going to go with head over heart...
who wins, that's prime storytelling when you actually don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the WrestleMania marquee, it sounds a bigger match, no offense to Sami, when you say Roman versus Cody, don't you?
Yeah, and this is the problem.
Bigger.
From a booking standpoint, they'll go, we'll sell tickets off Roman Cody.
Yeah, and all that good stuff. So you've got that aspect to it. But you've kind of got it. You've got still a load of unanswered questions. We haven't seen Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Since, is he going to...
This is the thing. I mean, the other question is, are we doing a disservice to Sami by saying that? Because he's one of the top merch sellers at the minute.
Yeah. He's right up there.
Maybe he could sell tickets for Mania.
Yeah.
Maybe we're doing him a disservice by saying it wouldn't be the marquee match.
I do wonder, though, and I could be completely wrong on this, they had that promo thing on Raw with Cody and Sami. Part of me wonders whether they set that up to see, are the fans going to be more behind Sami than they are Cody? And they're going to have like a Daniel Bryan situation all over again.
Imagine.
But I think, to be fair to Cody, I think the fans were just as much, if not more, behind Cody, despite all the storyline stuff with Sami.
Yeah, they're excited to have him back, aren't they, to be fair?
So I think it's good that they have done this to test the waters.
I know I keep doing this, but we could still get a Sami win and then Weasley, like, you didn't win both titles, it wasn't a both title kind of match.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, it's
And then Cody has to then go, we'll do a fight Sami or do a fight Roman.
Oh yeah.
Pick the easier option for him.
Or a paradox of choice, of Cody then. What does he do? You know what I mean? He wants so much to be champion. Does he test himself against the guy who's held it for...
Or does it become obvious and Sami wins the Universal and he goes after the WWE because that was the title?
Maybe. I still don't think that we're going to get them separated ahead of Mania. Okay. I do think it's going to be for both belts.
Seems to be...
The thing is, though,
to separate them from Mania, because then you can have multiple matches.
Oh, God,
yeah. In your card.
I've wanted them separated for ages, don't get me wrong. But I guess they love the idea of when it was for both belts at Mania in the first place between Brock and Roman. So I think it's like it feels bigger. But, and there's still the concept of potentially defending them on night 1 and night 2.
True.
And doing stuff like that still. But it's in Montreal. So this is Sami's hometown. This is Kevin Owens' hometown.
Yep. Are
we going to see a Montreal screw job too?
Do you think they'd do that?
Because where's Jay factor into all this?
Do you think they'd do that? Do you think they would?
That's where I think it's going. So obviously, the whole Montreal stuff in the first place, there's a history there with that. You've got this bromance between Jay and Sami, who, despite everything going on, it seems like Jay's still there for him. But is it going to be this match where he's got Roman beat and Jay goes?
That'd set up nicely.
For the tag championships.
Yeah, to be fair, that sounds almost too perfect.
That's where I think it's going to go. It's predictable,
I do like that.
But good.
Put in a good way.
Yeah.
Sometimes knowing how the story could play out isn't necessarily a bad thing if it's a great story.
Yeah, and I think if they do that, so Sami's got Roman beaten, he's about to pin him, and then Jay is the one who costs him, and he's like, well, you know what I mean? Sami's in shock. Great acting from the pair of them probably as well. And then obviously Roman manages to get the win. Bloodline is back. And so you've got Kevin Owens and Sami.
Sold. Sami up.
Going up against the Usos at Mania. And then at Mania, what you get is the Bloodline fully destroyed because the Usos lose the belts to Kevin Owens and Sami. Roman loses the belts to Cody. Then Roman goes away for a bit.
Then Roman goes away for a bit.
Then you've just got Solo Sikoa to be the new head of the table for the Bloodline.
Riding solo.
So, yeah, that's the way I think it's going to go down.
Sorry, my head just went like, I wonder if he plays that in the bedroom.
I mean, to be fair, based on TikTok, people fucking love him.
Yes, they do.
So, anybody watching this out there who's a big Solo Sikoa fan, you're in good company, by all accounts.
Yeah,
because he's meant to be fine if you're into that kind of thing.
Evidently, yeah.
You're not giving me anything. Just evidently,
sorry.
Reportedly,
just, as you say, like if you like dudes, fair enough. It's hard to like. I'm here like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
I
mean, it sounds. I was a little bit surprised. I didn't think he was as an attractive man as he apparently is. But what do I know?
Well, I mean, I've never really asked you about your taste in men.
Well, you see, like with Roman Reigns, you can get it a little bit, but I just didn't see it in Solo. But.
You see Roman Reigns to get it.
What? Oh yeah, you fucking get it.
I don't know where this is going. This is so weird. But yeah, based on our TikTok, yeah, a lot of people really like Solo.
Indeed. But yeah, that's where I think this is going to go. I think Sami is going to be coming out of this even more of a face off the back of it. And yeah, Roman retains and we get Cody Roman at Mania. And all is right with the world.
But Cody doesn't want to see Sami at Raw. He wants to see him at, usual bollocks.
Yeah. It was, I don't know. It was a good promo between the two of them, but at the same time, I massively fear for Cody after Mania.
Cody says has to be so fucking grand. This is the problem. He's right back. I loved him last week. Like that promo he did with Paul Heyman was fan-fucking-tastic. Yeah. And this week again, it's this whole big grand statement. It's like, fuck up.
That's what I mean. I think he's just naturally pompous. Do you know what I mean? Like, he is. And, like, this story he's telling now, avenging his father and all that good stuff, is an absolute babyface storyline. I don't know if they've got anywhere to go with him after this. That's going to keep him babyface. People are saying, like, we might get him versus Finn Balor in the Judgment Day. And I'm like, I don't want to see that. Do you want to see that?
No, not really. No.
So, who knows? But,
yeah. And, okay, can we talk about it while we're talking about Cody? Poor Baron Corbin. What the fuck are they doing to Baron Corbin? I've been saying this for a while, but I feel like this cements the fact that they're just so fucking horrible to Baron Corbin.
Well, they're leaning into it now. That man does
everything that they ask him to do, and it's like, let's get squashed by Cody as well.
They're leaning into it now, though, like, by the way they handled it of his interview wasn't as important because Sami was in the ring and stuff like that. So they're clearly building to something with him.
Hopefully. I just don't again, the man's been like a low-key underdog for ages. Like they still class him as a heel, but they just do horrible things to him and expect you to be on board because he's the bad guy. It's like, but we're still being like assholes, really, aren't we?
It is strange. He hasn't been able to get over his gimmicks properly, unfortunately.
Hell of a cook, though. Have you seen his cooking?
Yeah, he's a hell of a cook. Loves a bit of steak, doesn't he? So yeah, Roman Reigns.
Oh yeah, predictions. Yeah, Roman. Sadly, I'd love it to be Sami, but it's Roman, isn't it? I think
it's gonna be an amazing story. It's on. Is it Saturday night as well? It's on. Am I tempted to stay up for that one? Who knows?
Saturday night's alright for fighting, to be fair.
Yes, it is. So you may have seen us sampling some of the latest creations from our pals Top Rope Brewing. So make sure you get yourself 10% off. Head on down to topropebrewing.com and use the code A2theK10. Tonight's beer of the week is Optimus Prime.
Oh yeah,
Transformers themed, inspired, and delicious.
Yeah,
yes it is. Also, summer's coming around. Why not get yourself some A2theK merch from Pro Wrestling Tees, including latest designs from our pals Alt Wrestling Tees, who you can find on Instagram, and then tell the people about Pro Wrestling TV, Anthony. Tell them all about it.
So, some of you will hopefully be watching us on Pro Wrestling TV. If you're not, I would highly recommend you give it a go. Pro Wrestling TV is a dedicated wrestling app, channel, however you want to call it. Experience wrestling 24/7. We've got tons of fantastic indie content such as your MLWs, your AAAs, your TNT. As well as that, we have some wrestling shows, like us. We're there. The likes of What Culture,
hell yeah,
the Bell to Bells, various bits like that. You have
Alicia
Ratoot, Women's Wrestling Army. Is another fantastic one. And
just say as well, I don't know if you saw Maria Kanellis before. I didn't really want to cover it in the news and stuff like that, but obviously she had a thyroid operation, didn't she? She did find a little bit of cancer, she said.
Oh, damn.
So she's got another appointment. She's going to go back. And
dude, that's super sad.
Well, they've removed it and stuff, so they're going to see whether she needs to have the other half of her thyroid out or not. But either way, speedy recovery too.
Indeed,
but yeah, sorry for the somber tone.
No, yeah. I mean, it feels kind of weird going back into it, but yeah, check out Pro Wrestling TV.
Check out Pro Wrestling TV, and definitely check out Women's Wrestling Army. And if you are watching us on YouTube, thank you very much. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe. It does mean a lot to us.
And that notification bell does a thing as well. I don't know what it does, but if you hit that,
I think it just annoys you though and tells you when we're doing stuff. Like we can just
tell
you
when we're doing stuff.
It's every it's not every Wednesday because some people
sometimes not. We know that you miss us when we're not here.
Well, exactly. I mean, we miss us, and Anyway, that's it. Another fun-filled edition. Let us know. Do you agree with our predictions? Do you disagree? If you haven't already, make sure you check out our prediction series on Instagram, and make sure you take part every time there's an AEW or WWE pay-per-view, and get yourself a chance to win some cool merch.
Yeah.
So, until next week, we will say bye.